In the last episode, I was sailing on my own from Martinique to Barth to join a big regatta. In this episode, I will try to show you what a day on a raceboat looks like in the beautiful waters around the Caribbean island. Alright, so doing racing again. We have Steve here.
Good morning.
He's been squatting on the boat for a few days. He's racing with us on liquid. It's gonna be fun. So during Les Voiles de Saint-Barth, I was lucky enough to have Dan pick me up from my boat where I was sleeping, so I would not have to kayak on shore. I'm with Pam. She's the owner, manager of the boat.
Yes.
Say hello to YouTube, Pam.
Hello, darlings.
Hello.
And this is Dan, French and more French.
More friends.
All on liquid. What a mess, not too many French people.
International.
Alright, so that's the boat, that's a J120. Every morning we tear it apart, put all the equipment on the dock, rig everything, and to get ready for the start. So it's about a 2-hour work to get the boat ready. We have a good mix of like English, German, Torben is German, Canadian, UK. So that's me preparing the kite sheet. You'll see the kite, it's the spinnaker, it's these big kind of bubble sails that we have at the front of the boat to go downwind. We have different sails always to adapt to different strengths of wind, and also depending on which direction the boat is going relatively to the wind. The race boat looks like on the interior. See, Torben is like emptying everything. We remove all the mattresses. Actually, there's still one mattress here. So the boat is like as light as possible.
Exactly.
So when doing coastal racing, you know how the course is going to be. So you can plan kind of your strategy, which kind of sails you're going to have at what moment. Every morning we have a briefing with the skipper and also the person in charge of the strategy to decide what is the plan for the day. Okay, so we left the harbor, we are with full mainsail now, and I just prepared the jeep. Going to hoist it to warm up a little bit. As soon as we're ready and warm, we wait for the start line, which will be in maybe 20 minutes, something like this. Okay, there is pressure today, about like 18 knots, 20 knots. It's going to be a fun race. So there we're only with the mainsail, and we're already doing 8 knots, which is twice the speed I'm doing normally with my boat. So those here, they blitz, they are main components. And now we wait. There is lots of waiting, including in coastal racing. That's my main problem with racing. As the starting time is getting closer, all the boats are gathering close to the start line, and it becomes close quarter maneuvering, and it's always a really intense moment. When racing, there is a formalized starting procedure. Normally, there is a signal that tells you that the start of the procedure is going to be in 1 minute. Once the procedure starts, there is 5 minutes until the starts. So it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and when the time is at 0, you're allowed to cross the line. Alright, that's the start. Are you excited?
Very, very, very excited.
That moment you see all the boats are really close. There is lots of regulation linked with racing. Some boats will have priority, others won't, depending on where the wind comes from. So it's always really tight and really intense moment that the start is. Right there we pass the line, see everyone is getting on the rail, and the race has started.
That was an interesting start.
Once the starting phase is over, time for the upwind part. It's basically all the way from the start line to the upwind mark. And honestly, it's not my favorite. It's a lot of hiking where we put weight on the high side of the boat to make it more flat and have more tension on the sails, and there's not much to do. Going upwind is a little bit like going up the hill. When you go ski touring, you go up the hill, it's painful, it's slow, it's not nice. And when you reach the top of the hill, then you can go down and it's fun. Right there, we're talking. Basically, we change the direction of the boat to go upwind because the boat cannot go straight upwind, so you need to do tacks. So you do one tack on one side, one tack on the other. Every time we tack, we need to change our weight of side of the boat, so we run from one side to the other. So there we are getting closer for the upwind mark, which means that we're going to turn around the buoy and go down. That's why we see Torben that is preparing the kite. You see, we bear away, we go more downwind, and at that moment we're going to hoist the kite to be able to go faster downwind. So there is a little trouble with the kite, but no, there we're ready and we hoist the kite. And once the kite is up, we take the jib down. And everyone goes on different parts of the boat, more aft normally when you go downwind. So going downwind is definitely the fun part of the day. It really is. It's like going downhill. The boat is surfing, it's smooth, so nice. So there we're preparing a jibe. A jibe is like a tack. We turn the boat and we pass the wind with the stern of the boat. It looks pretty smooth, like on this one we're doing good. You see the kite passes on the other side of the boat and inflates nicely on the other side. Sometimes it's not that easy and the jibes can be a pretty messy moment on the race. But when it works, it's just beautiful. And there, look at this, we're gliding, it's so nice.
Alright, we're surfing at 30 knots.
Look at this wake that we have behind us, so nice.
Woo! 15 knots! So Mari here is main sail, trimming, so he controls the tension on the big black sail there. When Dan behind me is controlling the kite, trimming. I mean, he's doing the easy part. He's having a slave there that is like turning the money.
So while there is some position at the back, like the trim or the skipper or the navigator, there is also position at the front. Torben there at the far front of the boat is the number one. He's the one taking care of the maneuvers in the front of the boat, so mostly the jib, the kites, and also the starting procedure. There we're preparing to drop the kite, and first we put the genoa. Oh, there we go, the jib is going up. And then Torben is going to get ready on the bowsprit to spike the kite. I mean, to attach it from the bowsprit. Torben is on a 1.5 meter carbon pole with the boat blasting at 13 to 14 knots. It's not a really comfortable spot, but normally number one's like that. Oh, there we go, he's spiking.
Spike!
Number one is a really stressful position. You need to have lots of skills and lots of calm
There is a number one on each boat, but there is only a handful of good number ones because it's really, really hard. Alright, so no more fun there. We arrived at the end of the slope and now we have to go back up. Yeah, basically there everyone goes back on the rail. In English you call this hiking or mid-trail. In every language there is different way of calling people that are there. But yeah, mid-trail is a pretty good image of what we're doing right now.
That's close sailing. Alright, we just passed the finish line. Did good.
So the regatta in Les Voiles de Saint-Barth was 5 days. I only filmed 1 day because it's kind of every day the same thing. The class we were racing in is really competitive and the results were not outstanding, but the racing was good and we had fun on the water.
That here is the village. It's where sailors like this guy go after the race to drink lots of lemonade and stuff like this.
Only lemonade.
He loves lemonade.
Without rum, without beer.
Alright, so I'm just leaving Saint-Barth at the moment. It's behind me. I had to miss the last day of regatta, which is tomorrow, but it's okay. I did not let my crew down. They had like a spare crew that took my spot. I'm going now to Saint-Martin because I've been offered to work as a skipper on a chart 58-foot cat for 1 week. At the moment I can really use some cash, so it's kind of important. I'm heading there. It's about 4 or 5 hours sail. Dropping my boat, taking this big cat out with 10 people on it. Racing was really cool. I love, you know, to like push the boat as much as you can, push yourself. I'm full of bruises like everywhere, but it was really fun. The guys of Liquid of the boat, they're really cool. Good job, Liquid. Looking forward to sail with you again. And now it's fun because, you know, with my boat I have all my life in there. It's not that I'm pushing the boat, I'm cruising. Look, right now I'm going downwind with just the Genoa. So super chill, you know, I'm not pushing it because it's just a cruising boat. But when you race, you know, it's really like you tear the boat apart, so you go for weight, you go hiking. It's a really different approach of sailing. Right now, a bit more of just sailing life on my boat and a bit of work as charter, because one has to work sometimes if I want to keep this adventure going. So yeah, good sail.